Hey everyone. All right, it is Thursday. We are going live talking about supplements for women, what you need and what you don't. So as you know, every Thursday I go live. My name is Lisa Holton. I am your certified personal trainer, nutrition coach, faster way to fat loss coach, and tell it like it is new best friend. I do not hold back, so beware. And we actually have a guest popping on, and it will just be a minute for her to join us. So while we're waiting for her to join us, today we're talking all about supplements. I would love to hear your questions. So drop a question below if you have anything on supplements. I do have quite a few of you that wrote in asking questions. And so we will go through these questions once my guest pops in here, and we will let you know our answers to them. So first off, those of you that don't know me, a little bit about me, I have been in the health and fitness field for about 17 years now. I have worked with everyone from athletes to, women just having babies and want to get their body back. I have owned a gym. I owned a gym for 5 years. I've worked in all different sort of settings. But right now, about the last 10 years, I have specialized in nutrition, in supplements, and in working with women who really want to balance their hormones through sustainable exercise and nutrition. So right now, I currently work with primarily women that are over 40 and in perimenopause, because that is a different time in our lives, and it's a time that people don't talk about, and a lot of people aren't knowledgeable in what happens in perimenopause. No longer can you eat low calorie and just do a whole bunch of cardio in order to lose weight. You do have to do different things when you get a little bit older, when you get in perimenopause, to rebalance those hormones in order for fat loss and muscle gain to happen. So that is primarily what I focus on right now. So if you have questions on fat loss, on hormones, on nutrition, please make sure to reach out to me. I love chatting with you guys. I love helping you out and answering your questions. If you just jumped on, thank you for being here. We're going to talk about supplements. I'm just waiting for my guest to pop in here. And while we're waiting for her to pop on, if you have any supplement questions, you can drop them below. And I'm going to get started with supplements. So I have used supplements since I was, 18. I have used protein powder for forever. I've always been interested in that. I took like Flintstone vitamins when I was younger, but I really kind of dived into learning more about supplements and how they can help you probably about 18. So that's a lot of many years, over 20 some years of being, trying different supplements, diving into the research, trying things on myself. I will tell you this, I will never, ever recommend something to you that I have not tried myself. I will never do that because I don't believe in that. I believe that I have to try it first and see how I react, what it does to me before I were to tell my clients or anyone else to try certain supplements. So I have probably, I'm sure, tried everything that you've seen on the store shelves and anything you can buy online. I have tried. So if you have questions on supplements, just don't waste your money. I've already wasted all of mine. Save your hard-earned dollars and ask me brands, ask me questions, ask me what I think about them. I'll tell you the honest truth, okay? So currently I do take a lot of supplements, and I know some people don't agree with that. Some people think that's a waste of money, but honestly, it is actually an investment in your health. So I think learning about supplements and what supplements can do for you is an investment in your health, because our food is not giving us all the vitamins and nutrients that it should be, or that it used to be. Our soil is depleted. We've got, crap sprayed everywhere on everything. So we're not getting all of the minerals, all of the vitamins that we could be getting out of the food that we eat. So we do need to supplement. The other thing is, I know a lot of people who get sick all the time. They get sick all the time. And they don't take supplementation. They don't take multivitamins. They don't take a vitamin C. They don't take a vitamin D. Those are things that we need because we generally live in like artificial light. We live in a house. We live inside. It's temperature controlled. Like no longer is our body seeing sunlight right away in the morning, especially for those of us that live in the Midwest. I live in the Midwest. It is cold here. I'm not going to get up and go outside when it's 15 below zero just to get some sunlight in my eyes. Okay. I'm not going to do that. But I will tell you, my husband and I have started, we started this past summer, and every day that, it's got to be like above 10, otherwise I won't do it. But we go outside for 20 minutes and have coffee on our patio. And we did this all the way up through December. Now, the month of January, we didn't do it at all because it was way too cold out. In the month of February, we did it 2 days because, again, it was warmer than 10. And now we're into the month of March, and I think we've done it 1 day so far, and then it's been snow and ice now. So maybe, no, tomorrow it's supposed to snow and ice. Maybe Saturday or Sunday when it gets warmer out again, we can do this. But I'll tell you, it makes a big difference in my attitude and in how I feel when I am outside and I see the sunrise and I do get some sun in my face first thing in the morning. So there is something to that study. Now, I know that's not realistic for everyone. I just want to tell you that sitting inside in a temperature controlled house, having artificial lighting on yourself all the time isn't natural either. So that is why you do want some supplementation, because we're not getting in that vitamin D. Even that little bit in the morning, I'm too far away. Like the sun is too far away from me, being only March right now, especially in the Midwest. I'm not getting as much vitamin D as I need, so I supplement. So I just want to share with you the things that I take, and then I'm going to answer your guys' questions. So I take a multivitamin, which I highly recommend. Everyone needs a multivitamin. I mean, if you are not taking a multivitamin, I don't know why you wouldn't be at this point. It needs to be a multivitamin, and it needs to be high quality multivitamin. I did have a question on high quality, so I will answer that at the end. Okay, yeah, someone's just asking about vitamin D, and I will write that down and get to that question as well. All right, I also take a vitamin D. Now, a lot of people want to know how much vitamin D to take. There is mixed things out there, and I will tell you, I do what's best for me, and I've had my labs checked. I've had vitamin levels checked, so I know how much I need. I take 10,000 IUs of vitamin D every day. If I feel like I'm getting sick, I take 20,000. Now, I don't take 10,000 in the summer because in the summer I am outside. And when I go outside, I don't wear sunblock unless I'm going to be outside for a very extended, long period of time. I know, lots of maybe hoorah about that. That's a whole other topic. I'm not going to talk about sunblock right now. So I take 10,000 IUs of vitamin D in the winter. I take 5,000 in the summer. And if I think I'm getting sick, I take 20,000. Again, I've had my vitamin levels checked, so I know how much I can take. In the winter, I also take zinc and extra vitamin C, because zinc and vitamin C help your immune system. So if you don't want to get sick, you need to boost your immune system with a little bit more vitamins, because you might be depleted and you don't even know it. Now, I also take magnesium. I take that year round. Magnesium supports 300 hormone functions in our body. Magnesium, again, is like a multivitamin. If you are not taking that and you are a female, you are missing the boat, people. You need to be taking a magnesium. Now, there are different types of magnesium. There is magnesium citrate. That one, be careful, will make you go number 2, like more frequently. And then there is magnesium glycate. That's what I take. That one's more for muscle recovery and sleep. Okay, so that's the one I take. That's the one I recommend to all of my fitness clients, is magnesium glycate. What else do I take? A multivitamin. I take an omega-3, so I take fish oil. I'm not great at eating fatty fish. I maybe eat salmon once a week. I prefer like leaner fish, which doesn't give you those omega-3s. So I do take an omega-3. All right. Oh, it looks like our guest is here. I will continue with my list as soon as I let her in. 1 second. So we're letting our guest in. So while we're still waiting for her to pop in, I also take a probiotic, which I do think everyone needs a good probiotic. So that's also what I take. Our guest is here. Let me introduce you guys and we will continue. So everyone, welcome Andrea. She is a mom of 2 boys and a wife to an amazing supportive husband. As an RN, she wanted better options for improving their health and longevity. And she found new passions for holistic health and healing through nutrition and high quality supplementation. So welcome Andrea to our call.
Thanks, Lisa. That's nice to see you.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what to call it. Call, alive. It's going to be on my podcast. It's like we're doing all the things at once. We're busy people.
Yes.
Yes. I was just going through what I take for supplements, and then we do have quite a few questions, which I love.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to wrap up quick what I take, and then if you want to dive into what you take on a daily basis, and then we can get to our questions. Is that cool?
Yeah, that works for me.
Awesome. Okay, so that's kind of what I take for supplementation. I do take certain things for workouts and fitness, and I'll just touch on them briefly because we do have a question on that. So I do take collagen, which I think anyone over 40 needs to be taking, maybe even if you're over 30, really, you should be taking collagen. I also think if you lift weights, you should be taking creatine. And if you are not taking creatine, that is another thing you're missing the boat on. New research has been coming out showing that creatine is actually supporting mental health or brain health, I guess you could say, as you get older. So they did a study with 60 and 70-year-olds taking creatine, and then those that didn't. Those that did take creatine, their brain matter improved, so their cognitive function got better than those that didn't take it. So creatine is great for muscle gain, but also great for brain health. So if you have questions on that, I would say take creatine. But again, you have to be working. I think you should also be working out. If you're not working out, I guess I'm not quite sure, unless you're 60 or 70, like how much of a benefit you would get out of it. So just that's the caveat with that. And then of course I take protein powder because I need to eat a lot of protein and I don't really love meat. So protein powder is like my best friend. Okay, see, I told you guys I take a lot. So Andrea, what do you take? What's your favorite?
Yes. So like you said, I recently got into the nutrition and supplement side. So as a nurse, I do take 6 supplements, but I have my top 3 favorite. One being like a multivitamin pack, but it has a little more than that in there because there is an omega and then your trace minerals and the probiotic and prebiotic in there too. So it's kind of like an all-in-one. And that one I love. I hope it never goes away. Because just with the fact that it's helped so much with my gut health and bloating, has made the world of a difference. And the other one, you touched on this too. I have a favorite collagen also, but I've learned, the different types of collagens and what works better, what absorbs better also. So a liquid collagen is what I take, and it's marine based. So helping skin, hair, and nails. But then also there's been people that it has helped for ligaments and muscles too. And then I would say my third favorite would be our natural anti-inflammatory product. So it uses curcumin and black seed oil in there too. And I use that for also muscle recovery after workouts. If I've had a harder workout, take that and then not as sore the next day. And then also for women that are have menstrual cycles, it helps tremendously for cramps and all that too. So that's kind of like an all-in-one multi-use supplement too.
Oh, that's amazing. Is that in a pill form or is that a liquid?
That's in a pill form. It's like a little gel capsule.
Okay. That's awesome. While we're talking about supplements, there was a question that came in, and they asked what is the timing on supplements? What time of day should you be taking things? So do you want to answer when you should be taking those things?
Yeah. I think whenever you remember to take your supplements is always just a general, if you forget to take it in the morning, take it as soon as you remember. Most of mine I take in the morning just so I feel that effect, especially my multivitamin pack, because it gives me so much focused energy. So if I get to lunch and I'm gosh, I can't struggling to pay attention or feel like my food is not as digesting as well, then I know like I haven't taken it. So um, I would say in the morning for those. The anti-inflammatory, like anytime during the day, just depending on like what's going on, or if you're more sore or have a headache. And then same for the collagen. Really kind
Yeah.
of, I take it in the morning. The collagen I take is only 10 days. So you take it for 10 days and then take a break for 20, just because it's like more like a loading dose.
Yeah, it's like more
Yeah.
potency than powder form.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Um, so supplements, like you said, if you're taking a multivitamin, you do want to take them in the morning, because it has your multivitamin has vitamin B in it, and vitamin B is designed to help you with focus and give you energy. So you don't want to be taking that at night. If you take an additional vitamin B supplement like on its own, for sure take that in the morning. And magnesium, like I talked about earlier in this live, you want to take that at night because magnesium does help you sleep. So if you're taking that, make sure to take that at night. Otherwise, I mean, personally, I don't really know if it matters. Like, for example, if you're taking an extra vitamin D or your omegas, I don't really know if that matters when you take them. I personally spread mine out throughout the day because my stomach is super sensitive. So I will take like my multivitamins and my vitamin B in the morning. And then I take like my omegas, my vitamin D at lunch. And then at night, I take my magnesium. So I do spread mine out throughout the day. But again, that's just me and my sensitive stomach. All right. So the next question we had, I thought this was interesting, is when do you notice any results from taking supplements?
Mm. I It definitely varies
Yeah.
person to person for sure. I would say when I switched to these, I with the multivitamin pack, I noticed within 3 days a difference. But generally speaking, as a nurse and in a healthcare environment, they usually say like 3 months. Give it 3 months to take like full effect and to see a, the biggest difference.
Yeah, I agree. And it's about consistency.
Mm-hmm.
You have to take them consistently to see effects too, because if you're like taking them twice a week because you keep forgetting, well, then you're not going to see the result because you're not being consistent. And it's not like our vitamins are like stored. It's like whatever our body isn't using, we do generally pee
Mm-hmm.
out, is kind of how it
Mm-hmm.
works. And so it's not like they're being stored for like the next day for you to use them. So you do need to be consistent when you're taking your supplements. And you do, like she said, 3 months. I would also say, I feel like it's when people stop taking them is when they notice how much they worked. Because initially you'll start to feel better, like you'll have less brain fog, you'll feel more energized. But then after a while, you get used to that feeling like that. And then you might be like, is this even working? Well, if you stop taking it, you'll definitely notice you'll get sick. You won't have the energy. You'll have like brain fog and you'll be like, why am I feeling like this? And it's like, well, you stopped taking your vitamins.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about like third party testing, third party verified. Um, we had another question that came in that said, how do you know if supplements are clean? So I'll pass that off to you.
Okay. I have learned this is so important because with vitamins and supplements that are on the shelves at box stores or even on Amazon, like really scary, and you have no idea what's in them. So third party testing is so important to just make sure like what the company says is in the supplements, the ingredients, the right ingredients are actually in there.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with all of that. Please stop buying your supplements off Amazon. You do not know what's in there. There has been a lot of companies that have sued Amazon and other companies like supplement companies because it's fake pills. So China or whomever else will replicate the pill, the box to make it look like it's coming from a certain company. But then once found inside, it's really not. So please do not. I know people are like trying to save a buck, especially right now, but please do not try to save your buck and buy vitamins off Amazon because you don't know what you're going to get and what you're going to take. Like it is probably a counterfeit. So please do not do that. And like you said, how to know it's clean, make sure that it's third party verified and tested. So you might need to do a little bit of homework, a little bit of research, look that company up, see who runs those tests as well. Like, are they paying for those tests to be done, or is it done with an outside source and that company doesn't have any sway, so to speak, over the tests that are being done?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I would even go to like a little step further, or if you're looking into it and actually reading the third party studies, like make sure you read some of those too, because even though they do those, like you said, some of them might be paying other companies to do that or running their own studies. And once they run the study, they generally have to put the results that they got in that study. So just make sure you're reading like the actual results that they're getting to.
Yes. And then we did have another question come in. You guys had some great questions. Again, if you have questions, drop them below and we will respond. Another question came in, like how can you basically buy clean supplements on a budget? Or what's a cheaper option? Do you have any suggestions? I talked about it in the beginning before you got here. So.
Okay. I would say it's kind of one of those things like you're going to pay for what you get almost, right? You can overspend. I've seen good supplements that do seem way overpriced, but there are companies that have really good quality supplements that are kind of like middle of the road. I mean, it's still probably going to be kind of a price like adjustment and surprise you a little bit, but it's almost worth paying that price.
So I will say, just because, like I said it in the beginning, I have done supplements since I was 18. So I have tried everything that's out there, except for a few things. And I would say what I have found is those that are clean, the vitamins that are clean, the vitamins that are third party tested, you're going to pay at least $70 or more for them. I have not seen a third party test or a clean supplement that is under that price point that will give you like the packets that Andrea is talking about. So you shouldn't go in expecting to pay $20 for something if they're giving you clean ingredients and third party testing it and making sure it's verified and safe. You are going to pay a premium for that, but that means that you're putting premium products in your body, which is what you want. You don't want to be putting a bunch of filler and junk inside of you. If you're trying to like be healthy and eat clean and exercise, the last thing you want to do is put a bunch of filler and additives inside your body from your multivitamin. All right, next up, this was a good one. What can I take for brain health and memory improvement? So do you have anything? I did do a little research on this one prior to coming on because off the top of my head, I only had two. So I wanted to give this person more than two.
Yeah. I have two also, and the ones that we take. Our multivitamin helps brain health also. And then our collagen actually has one of our clinical studies. They showed BDNF is like brain cognitive function, and it helps increase that.
Oh, that's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So what I found in my research and I was going to suggest like an omega-3 or fatty acids. So if you love eating salmon or fish, you could do that multiple times a week or take an omega-3. In the research, I found vitamin E, vitamin D, and magnesium can all help with memory improvement and brain health. And then I'll just reverse back to what I was talking about with creatine. Creatine has been shown to help with cognitive function and brain health. But again, I do think you should be working out if you're using it, because what happens with creatine that a lot of people don't know is creatine pulls water into muscles. So that's why a lot of women, when they start taking creatine, they're like, oh, I feel fluffy. Oh, I feel bloated. Well, yeah, because first off, you titrated it wrong. Like women can't jump up and take a full scoop. You have to work into that first off. Secondly, that's a whole other topic for another day. Secondly, you do have to, I kind of lost my train of thought now. Oh, you have to be working out. So you have to be lifting heavy in order to like use that creatine basically, because we don't want it just sitting there soaking up water in muscles that aren't being used then. So if you are lifting weights, creatine would be something to consider as well. And then we had a question came in right before you joined that just asked about vitamin D. It sounds like she was maybe just looking like she already takes a vitamin D, but do you recommend a different brand?
Brand specific. I mean, I would look at something like if you're just looking for an individual vitamin D, do the research, but some companies that come to mind are like Cellcore or Standard Process to see, you know, if they would have one.
Yeah, for vitamin D, if you're doing a standalone, I would also recommend looking at Thorne. They actually have some really good research behind them, or Shaklee, which has some third-party tested, verified research around them. They just don't have a lot of vitamin D. Like, it only gives you either 500 or 2000 IUs. And so if you're looking for like a higher dosage, I would recommend Thorne then for that, because they offer 2, 5, or 10,000 milligrams. So yeah. Those were our questions that came in. Do you have anything else that you want to add, Andrea?
I was going to add to the previous question about brain health, like you were just touching on different like real foods like fish to help that. And although like supplementation is really, really good and really important for our body, just because we're not getting like all the nutrients to fill in those gaps, but it is important to like eat as much like whole food to get those nutrients. So that was just a really good point that you touched on too.
Yeah, so let's not be like the people I saw at the grocery store today with 45 frozen pizzas in their cart, and then you take a bottle of multivitamins and think you're being healthy. That's not how it works.
Right.
We have to, I hope she was buying pizza for a soccer club or something. I don't know. But anyways, you do need to eat healthy, you know, like Andrea said, eat whole foods, eat the foods that come from the ground or come from a mother.
Yes.
That's going to be the best way to fuel your body. And, you know, Andrea works out as well. We want to not only fuel our body, but fuel our workouts as well, because, you know, if we're just always eating like a little tiny salad, that's also not fueling our workouts. So you're not going to get, you know, the bang for your buck, so to speak, that you could have. So yeah, anything else to add, Andrea, before we wrap up?
No, I think that's it.
All right, so if you guys have any questions on supplements, please reach out to Andrea or myself. If you're listening on the podcast, just go to the show notes and I'll put all the info there. But thanks so much, everyone. Pop your questions below and Andrea and I will chat with you soon. Thanks, Andrea.